Yo, 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 testing 1, 2, what's going on? Welcome back to another stream here on the Pokerstaples channel. How's everyone doing? It's been a second, man. It has been a second. I'm not going to lie to you guys. We've had some time elapsed in between streams for sure. So it's exciting to catch up with all of you and get back to bread and butter a little bit, you know? Streaming some poker. I got to turn off my game sounds here. Yeah, excited to be here. What's happened? Well, took a trip to the UK, which was pretty fun. Had a great time. Got to visit family. As we got sub hype coming in, B-Car Oi Oi with the 90-month resub. Gets the love of the chat. Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, I got to visit some family. Got to see Rebecca's mother, Rebecca's sister, and the new baby, our niece, which was very exciting. And got to go to a few Tottenham matches, and then we had the PartyPoker tour, which is so much fun, man. 10 days in London, had such a great time. Made a deep run in the main event. Main event I didn't do so well, but the main I had a good shot. Cash for like 900, I think. Final 2 tables, it was a 150-pound buy-in. So close, but no cigar on the big result, but it was just a blast. It was so much fun. I'm so excited for the rest of the tour. And we have the next tour date coming up pretty soon, actually, in June. Basically middle of June. So we're about a month away from the next tour date. Already booked my flat. Gonna book my flights probably on Monday and go from there. So very exciting. Really fun to play live poker again. Did a few vlogs if you guys missed that. So check those out on Jaime Staples YouTube or on Instagram or on the Facebook page as well. So yeah, that was what's up. There was definitely, it wasn't the best health period for me. I got sick, unfortunately, before the trip, and then I got sick on the trip, and then I got sick after the trip. So immune system has really been kind of destroyed a little bit this winter, unfortunately, which has affected the amount of streaming time, but you know, I'm doing my best. I think I'm pretty much over it now. I have like a couple remnants of a cough, basically, but mostly back and in action. So yeah, and excited to like recoup. I don't know, like in what's important for the next couple weeks for me, I want to stream some millions online, and I want to get healthy and build up some immune system power, you know? Get some walks in, get some bike rides in, eat some healthy food, and sort of get into it. What's up, Herdu, Tio Phil, first on YouTube. Good to see you in the house. What's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so that's what's up. I had a pretty big day yesterday for myself personally. A lot of you guys know that I suffer with an eating disorder called ARFID, Avoidant Restricted Food Intake Disorder, which means at a certain point, like I really restricted the amount of food I ate to very few ingredients. You know, would suffer essentially like what felt like allergic episodes, but more likely are kind of panic attacks, although the body, you know, doesn't really know the difference so much. They're very similar in terms of how they exhibit themselves. So I've been suffering with that for a few years, and one of the things that I haven't been able to eat for a long time is eggs. Of course, I could eat them, but I wouldn't eat them. And so yesterday, I got to sort of expose myself to eggs in a hospital setting for the first time, where, you know, you go in and you bring some eggs and you sit there for 4 hours and they sort of monitor you. And, you know, I think overkill in that it's kind of unlikely that eggs were something that I needed medical surveillance for, but because of the mental health side of things is really helpful. So that was yesterday, which is like a really big day in my personal life. So this morning I had scrambled eggs for breakfast. Really good news for me. Lots of things that I'll be able to sort of eat now for the first time. Not for the first time, but for the first time in several years. So, and that's kind of what happened, man. While I was away, that's it. So I'm gonna be a little rusty in the poker streets for sure. I haven't played a lot of hands of poker in the last 2 months. You know, some for sure, but live poker is a lot slower, right? So it'll be a little different that way. And And yeah, we'll do our best and sort of get back into it. Millions Online has started yesterday. So that's going to be one of the main focuses of the month, essentially, is that $500 main event. Every week of the series, there's sort of like the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day ones, Monday, day twos. So we're going to be trying to get those Monday, day twos locked up and good to go. And playing a bunch of side events as well. We'll see how we do, you know. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see what happens, man. Get on that grind, you know. I think I'll mostly be focusing on Party Poker during this month. Of course, like every poker site has big, huge tournament series going on. I'm mostly going to be focusing here and seeing how I do. You know, I think the games are pretty good, right? Like, I think there's some good opportunity. Even though you're not going to win a house, right? You're not going to win $1 million. You can win some good money. So that's kind of my mindset going in. Anyways, we're live on all three platforms. Let's hop into the home game here as we're raising up a hand. And we've got some other tournaments on the side that I can register. So I'm going to do that now. Get a few of those going. The first one is going to be table 1. It's a 162. 10-5-6, not the best board for ace-9, to be honest. Let's check back. Check again. I'm happy to go to showdown with this hand, I think, if they let me. Check, and we have the same hand. That makes some sense. All right, so here's the new 162. Let me just frame it up correctly. I kind of remember where it is. Maybe a little smaller on this table. Make it fit just a bit better. There we go. Sweet. Okay, so here's the 162. You play down, I believe. Let me double check this. Play down to 15% of the field, and you start day 2 in the money. It's a progressive knockout as well. 100,000 guaranteed, 2-day event. So we're going to try and get our day 2 locked up. The target event for this is May 12th at 3:30. So there you go. In the home game, we 3-bet ace-queen, get a call. I'm going to check here. We smash the board with a full house. It's so hard for my opponent to have anything, right? I think I need to check the flop. They check the turn. We have to go for a small bet now. Hope they have diamonds or an 8 or a queen or something. Or they find a bluff, but we take it down. All right. Come on, Dottie. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Muted? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, you beauties. Welcome, welcome. So, that's good. There's a couple PLOs which we're going to play, but we don't need to play them right now. I'm going to get this 109 6-max progressive knockout. I think that is a good one to get on table 2. And maybe just start there to kind of ease into it a bit. I think is a good idea. So this is a 109. This tournament ends today. It's a 15,000 guarantee. And we got a nice starting 3 here as we're going to fill in our table a bit. But still to come, ooh, there is a 33 PLO with 5 minutes left in reg. We need to get that one. All right, so we're going to also get a pot limit Omaha because we don't want to miss this millions event. You know, we can flick it in. So I'll put that on table 5 when I get a chance. As we're already back in action, dude. Lots going on. We might have the best hand here. Let's see. Jackson 4s with an ace kicker. That queen is not a great card. Definitely can hit that sometimes. Hey, PGD. 57-month resub. Thanks, B-Car, for the gift sub plus chips in the home game. Get it. absolutely running B card dry as we have to fold to the cold 4-bet here. Look at this in the home game. All right, so is this framed up correctly? Definitely not, dude. Definitely not at all. How about that? All right. We got that. This is an okay hand, right? We can limp along with this one. We make a flush in our home game. We're going to bet against Bacon. And did Bacon call? Ah! Timing out. Okay. Did get a call with a king 5. Fair enough. That makes sense. Makes sense. We're going to fold. And we're just going to open this table 5, get the buy-in right. This is a pot limit Omaha freeze out. Millions online. So there we go. Couple 6 maxes, 2 8 maxes. We got the home game. We got the 162 multi-day. A nice assortment, I think, of stuff going on. Look out for Dino 10-8 in your home game. All right. Heard he's an animal. This comes from Dino Rob. Any relation, Dino? To Dino? Cheers, man. Do we open this, dude? I think so. The nut suit and the 3 Broadways seems pretty good. Thanks, Racy JC. You know, it was okay, actually. It wasn't too bad, the exposure. Are you and Mac going to play in Manchester next month? Yes. Already got the spot booked, brother. Just got to book the flights, and we'll be there, man. Are you going to come, Man of Straw? Wonder if I'll get a hi. What's up, Pie Sitters? Hello. Welcome. Mahan Gilla. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How was the London casino, or how was London? How do you rate the casino it was in? Yeah, great, dude. Aspers is really cool. In Stratford, I think the area it's in is really useful as well. It's basically in a mall, right? So you have a bunch of stuff to do in the mall. You have a bunch of restaurants. You have a lot going on there. You have a movie theater in the mall, etc. It's like a very built up in between 2 train stations as well. You have the underground on one side, and then you have sort of like an international above ground train station on the other. So it's a very busy area, like jam packed with people. But the actual poker room is really nice. It's sort of at the end of the casino, which is on the 4th floor, I think, of the complex. And you have sort of like a nice sitting area beside the poker room that has like a bar that's open all night, 24/7. Good spot to watch football or have a drink or have some food or whatever. It's a really nice environment. I think they do a great job there. So nothing but great things to say about Aspers and the London poker scene. I just had a great time with it, honestly. It was just really fun. So yeah. Good to know Party Poker still operate. We do indeed, man. Where have you been? Well, I guess it depends what country you're in, right? Because in some countries we don't operate. But if you're in a country where we do, I think the games are pretty good. Worth checking it out. A lot of people are happy with the return of Party's live stops. It suits the more recreational players while also accommodating for the pros. Yeah, I think so. I really like the buy-in level. You know, there's tons of options for high rollers, right? You have the stuff that Rob Young is doing in like Cyprus. You have Triton stuff, right? You have Poker Go stuff. This is for the ultra high roller, you know, like 10K, 25K, 50K, 100K stuff. And then you have a lot in the mid-range that are doing 5Ks. You know, you have WPT, you have EPT, you have some regional tours, I guess, in the US that are doing like that mid-range buy-in. But I really like this level in terms of just myself personally. Not that I don't like playing the 5Ks or the 3Ks, but the sort of people that they bring out to the festival are primarily pros, you know? Pros are really serious recreational. So the environment at the table ends up being a bit stiff, right? Like there's not a lot of fun and banter to be had outside of the events. It ends up being a work trip for a lot of people, right? Whereas if you have like a 500-pound main event, a 1K high roller, 150s, 200s, 250s, like primarily it's about people that enjoy playing poker and are having fun, right? It's not a work trip for very many people. If you're a pro and you're around the area, like totally you'll go and check it out. But I just really like that size and that niche because it creates the right vibe, I think. I feel like Moneymaker Tour is doing a similar thing in America. Run It Up Reno used to sort of fill that niche, although it was like fairly branded to that community. Lex Live probably doing a similar stuff, but again, like kind of branded to that community. I just really like it, man. I think it's cool, so I'm excited that it's back. Home game password is Kappa, Kappa, as I have 4 hands right now. King Queen on 355. I don't think it's worth c-betting here. If we had a backdoor flush draw, sure. But like King Queen of Diamonds is the worst King Queen we got. It's the worst one. And they're most likely to have a 5 in the big blind. So just give it up. Say la vie. How did you learn about online poker theory? Like every resource I could use, I used basically. But in the beginning for me, that was like free resources. This was, 14 years ago. And then online video training sites really became like my main source of learning for a long period of time. I just watched like a couple hours of videos every day learning about poker concepts. Read some poker books, listened to a lot of poker podcasts, talked on forums, joined the now dead Skype groups as Skype finally shut down recently. Basically everything I could. And in today's world, right, there would be a lot more stuff on YouTube for learning that's free and really useful. You still have those training sites. You still have discussion groups, but they're primarily on Discord. You can look at like joining backing communities to where you're going to have sort of coaches and a network around you to help you improve and get better. All sorts of stuff, man. Like there's just tons of options. So yeah. Yeah, man. It's a game where like, at the end of the day, in poker, you're playing against other human beings. So essentially, you can just play against worse human beings than you, and you're already doing well. But you can endlessly pursue getting better at the game to where you can play against tougher and tougher human beings and win. And that progression doesn't end, right? You don't arrive anywhere. So yeah. PGD, who was in Aspers for sure to play. It's good to meet you in person, brother. Aspers was good. My only criticism is the tourney directory to me felt a bit overwhelmed, got mixed info, didn't really matter or cause any issues, but added a bit of confusion, but really fun. Would recommend going to a Party Poker Live event. Yeah, there was a lot of events. For sure. Like I missed a lot of the sort of side events, evening events, because I was running, I was playing in the main events or I was playing in the mini main event, and I just like couldn't play them. So like the 4 or 5 card, 6 card PLO, like I wasn't able to fire it because I was deep in something else, So I wish there was the ability to play more events. I'm with you, dude, on that. I don't know how they did it at Run It Up Reno, but they did manage to make that happen. One of the pieces of feedback I put forward was like longer late reg, especially on like the side events, Like I don't think people really care about ultra late reg in a 4, 5, 6 card PLO, right? Or like in a 200 turbo. Like I just don't think it's a big deal compared to more people being able to play and sort of like get involved. But yeah, I mean, pretty great for the first one back, right? Like, it's a different team handling these live events too. Like when I joined Party Poker, it was a different sort of group that was running Party Poker Live, that whole festival. That part of the company and that group has totally changed. So it's like, it's a new approach, kind of new everything, new relationships built. And this was the first one. So I think they did an awesome job, I'm really excited for the future ones. Old man is back. Welcome back, Vigar. What's up, brother? Am I an old man, dude? Is that true? Damn, man. It's good to see you in the house, Vigard. Appreciate you, brother. Always, man. We flop a set. Let's bet. A painting in the UK. Oh, 1 second. Queen Bee. What's up, Queen Bee? Queen Bee has also been suffering with her health this winter. And I hope you're finally feeling better, Queen Bee. I'm getting there. I still got a little phantom cough. I've been sick this week, but I'm hopeful that I'm going to go the distance and feel finally really good. I hope. Thank you, Queen Bee. Appreciate the resub. Welcome back to the team. Gets the love of the chat. For a long-time supporter, one of the OGs. Manastraw says, a painting in the UK that was bought for £10 in 1926 recently sold at auction for $800,000. Whoa. That's crazy, dude. That's really crazy. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man. By the way, guys, I don't know how much I've plugged this, but our home game going on Party Poker right now, there's 45 minutes left to register. It's a $5 buy-in, and we've got $500 added in Millions Online tickets. So $500 added. There's 53 of us right now. Basically, everyone's getting $5 in added value currently. It's a pretty good tournament. So you can find it in the Global Party Poker lobby. The password to enter is Kappa, K-A-P-P-A. It's going on right now. There's also a $25 bounty on my head, so there you go. Code is Kappa. There it is. Kale Parkinson goes for the raise under the gun. I think you're going to flat ace queen. You could also 3-bet here too, but I think calling is okay. Pretty strong hand, right? As in the PLO, we're up to 160. That's fun. King 6-3. 3 ways. Pretty dry board. That's 1/4. I guess I'll just fold, dude. I don't know. That might be a little too weak 3 ways. I'm not really sure if I should continue there. I'll just default to a fold, which is probably fine. It's all right. It's definitely not the end of the world. It's not like, oh my God, a terrible fold. It's like probably fine, maybe slightly bad, but that's the worst case. Good evening from Ibiza. What's up, Daniel Sorolla? Hope you're having a great time in Ibiza. Hope life is good. Good question, Pokerstaples. If I have already qualified for Sunday's final for the live 1K package event, continue to play the Saddies, will I add to my Sunday stack? Will my new stack be replaced? You won't be able to add to it. Yeah, you can't add to it on Party Poker. Once you're in, basically, with your stack. I'm not actually sure about the replacement stack thing. I would assume that's how it works, in that it takes the bigger stack through. But I don't know 100%. Maybe Rebecca knows as well, because she plays a lot of those Saddies. I hope to join you as well in that weekly final. I'll be playing today the 25-pound tour path, which starts in an hour and a half, I guess. Ace King raise, take it. That's easy enough. How about this Ace King? Raise it up. Weston Pirate is all in the home game. I got you some bad news, Weston Pirate. Although they have like no chips. Maybe they want to re-enter. Nice hand. Well played. That is a well played moment. I'm not going to open 6-5 because probably you're going to be all in against this player for 4 blinds. And I have 6 high. This kind of hand benefits from being able to play deep stacked, which them going all in makes us less deep stack against everyone else. And then, of course, they're like the main pot with the antes and stuff. You have to win with 6 high. So I think it really goes down in value because of this small stack, in my view. I played last week's final and went for the cash prize since it was double the Canadian dollar, plus it allows me to book flights and stuff with cash. Let's go. Nice. Congrats, Queen Bee. Finished my meds for E. coli yesterday. Pray for me. Pray. Big pray coming in. Hey, Pick and McButt, drop of the resub. Yay, you're back. Hope the UK treated you well. Good luck today. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was special, dude. I really like the UK. It's really a lot of fun. I just I don't know. I feel happy when I'm in the UK environment. And it is definitely different than home, but primarily more for the positive, I think, you know? Just in terms of like its societal setup, London is a really special place. There is, first of all, like a lot more diversity, which I find enthralling, like really enjoyable to be surrounded by different ideas and different cultures. It's a little bit more homogeneous here. Not that it isn't multicultural in Canada, it is, but like it's even more so in London, which is kind of cool. Also, just like the infrastructure that is available makes being in the city so much fun. I think Jack 3 is probably not a jam here. Just fooled. And there is there's just a communal aspect that comes through in the day-to-day life of people, and I do actually think the infrastructure has a big part in that, which is whether you're wealthy or poor, everyone is sort of together using the same trains, the same roads and sidewalks. Like getting on the tube is not just like a poor person thing, it's an everyone thing. And so there is this like cohesive aspect of society as everyone gets around in this like super busy big city. It makes a difference day to day in terms of, I feel like, how people interact with each other and how people feel as well. It's just a bit friendlier, less solitary in some way. And, I think that's just a societal setup, right? You could say that about Canada. You could say that about the US. We're just much more car focused. Our houses are a little bit bigger. Our land is a little bit bigger. People are just, they have their place in their community and they go from A to B, and there's less mixing in day-to-day life. And I feel that personally, in terms of my experience with a place. It's a really big bet. I'm going to fold. It's like over 2/3 there. Yeah, so that makes a difference, like, you go to a football game and you're just going to be jammed into a train with a couple thousand people, and it's fine, it's just fine. So yeah. Long story short, I'm a big fan of the UK. Party is owned by Entain now. Yep. I think it has been for a really long time, though, under the Entain umbrella. Ever since I've been here, it's been under Entain. 72-month sub with a 5-year badge. Where your 6-year badge at? Yeah, man, I gotta get some more badges. I gotta get some more badges for longer subs for sure. Says the non-sub. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Previously sub for 82 months. Thought Jamie stopped streaming. Yeah, just had a long break there, man. I get it. I understand, Absolutely no pressure to any regulars or longtime viewers or first-time viewers on subs and stuff. It's just, let's mess about a bit here. With the Party Poker Tour, there's just some variable times of like, oh, we're streaming a lot or we're not streaming much at all. Just happens. Which I feel like, in my head, I feel like I've earned that after 11 years of being here, 10 and a half years of being here. Sometimes there's just going to be some periods where, oh, we're going to play live poker this month. But, at the end of the day, my heart is here streaming. Got so hype. Hail, Bob, let the music play. It's playing in my headphone. I can't play it out loud, dude. It's copyright. But I'll give you 1 year of subs if you can guess what it is. You can. It's a free pledge from me because you can't guess. You're just never gonna guess. It is classical music. So GolfStaples, how's the month been going, man? This is the second time I've played online poker this month. So yeah, live poker was the thing. I played a few tournaments on Monday as I was like getting caught up with my emails and taxes and stuff. And here we are. So all in all, I'm pretty excited, man, to get on the grind, pretty excited. I need to add my buy-ins actually so that I can keep track of how we do today. Up to 71,000. Did we start with 100K here? Oh, we did. Down to 71,000. Down to 853 from a million. But we're up to 70,000 here in the home game, which has 37 minutes left in Reg and 60 of us. Hop in. Got some hype coming in. Captain Co-op. Oh, he's an absolute Chicago legend. The one and only. Could be a one-man show, but he's not too afraid to collaborate. Incredible. Incredible Captain Co-op. Rap God. Gets the love of the chat. 112. Now it's time to delve into the stream or whatever. I don't know. I've been on a rhyming thing with my subs lately. Oh, Co-op, man. How are we going to make Chicago work, dude? You just might have to come to Montreal, Co-op. Why not come to Montreal, dude? Why not? Thank you, Holly Bob. Thank you, thank you. I love London. So cool. Trust you better off not meeting her. She gave me the flu. Did Rebecca give you the flu? I don't think so, man. So great to see you all. Yeah, man. It's good to be back in action. Good luck. Bring it down. This is Corey Royer on Facebook. Thank you. Do you say Jake Schindler getting booted out of Jackson bet event while chip leading? That was... It wasn't Schindler. It was Ali Ismarovich, I believe. Should have been kicked to the reg desk, not when he was chip leading on level 6. I mean, I think either. Be better to kick before he plays, but better to kick at level 6 than not kick him at all. Why is there no poker blacklist? I think that companies are afraid of the EU's sort of privacy protection laws. But, you know, PartyPoker is willing to collaborate on a blacklist, and there is some precedent in America now with sort of collaborating on that stuff. So I'm hopeful it continues because, you know, game integrity is important. Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Fair. What do you need, Co-op? What is it that you need from me? Sounds like segregation in Montreal, Jamie. Nah, it's not. Montreal is the city that it's got it most figured out in North America. It's got the best vibe in North America. And I don't even think it's really like that debatable, to be honest. But anyways, Montreal is a great place, you know? It's just like there's things that UK and more broadly Europe just does better. Pretty universally, you know? I'm just so convinced that this like solitary way of living of like no investment in shared infrastructure is a really bad idea. It's a bad idea for society. It's a bad idea for like quality of life on a day-to-day basis. And yet it's just the way that we've pretty much always done it in North America since World War II, you know? Not always, but since World War II, it's really been focused around private cars and then private land, you know? Like your driveway, your yard, and the suburbs has really been the structure of building. And I think it stinks, dude. Like I've lived in both. And it's, I think if you can experience both and like embrace them both for what they are, you know, like both are fine, but clearly to me the shared aspect is so much better on a society basis. So much better. Need to visit Luton Town the next time you go to the UK, lol. Put bulletproof vest on. I'm not afraid, dude. I'm not afraid. Listen, this scaremongering is not going to work on me. The UK is very safe. Very safe. You're listening to the YMCA by Village People. It's close. Close. Johann Strauss, not a bad guess, William. Yogi Wyatt. Trying to win that year of subs. Not a bad guess. Because I do like Strauss. Also Sprach der Zarathustra and the Alpine Symphony. Both pretty good. But who I'm listening to right now is Richard Wagner's The Ring. I really haven't listened to much Wagner before, and that's why I'm listening to it today. Just because he's like a big name in classical music, and I haven't really explored any of his stuff, so it's not like I can really engage and listen actively. It's more just like a bit of background noise in my ear, but I get to sort of gently expose myself to when I listen more critically, and or hopefully go to a live concert of some of the Ring cycle, something like that. But a good guess, though. Mahler Symphony number 10. Not a bad guess. Another guy who I've listened to maybe like 4 of his symphonies, but in Montreal next year, there is 3 Mahler symphonies being performed. Number 9, number 4, and number 5. 2 of them by the Orchestra Symphonique Montréal, the OSM, which is like the main orchestra in town. And then one of them by OM, which is Orchestra Metropolitain, which is like the second biggest orchestra in town. So it's going to be a big year for Mahler next year in the city. I'm really excited because he's like an epic sort of romantic composer. Mahler is like, if you don't really know if you like classical music, probably just go to like a Mahler symphony, and it's just going to be a big, grand, overwhelming experience, and you'll be like, whoa. That's kind of what it's going to be like, I think. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but that's my impression of the guy. We have to fold to that lead. King 8. Probably could make it to Montreal one of these days. Do it, man. It'd be fun. We can hang out. I don't know. Probably call with our 8, but like we're a little worried about a 6. Thankfully, they don't have it. We take it down. We chip up to 110 in a good spot. That's good. In our 109.6 max. Yeah, the good thing about Party Poker is if you've been banned on Party Poker, you can't play Party Poker live events. So, like, it carries over. Whereas some tours, it doesn't. The Stinkin' Badges is actually a movie quote. Is it? Nice. You back in Canada? I am. What's up, PK? What's up, PK? Are you going to play the Moneymaker Tour event in Montreal next week? Maybe. Let me remind myself of the schedule. I'd like to. All right, what is today? The 9th. So the Moneymaker Tour has started in Montreal. There's a 300 going on right now. $500 monster stack. There might be some events that don't clash, and I do have a Commune Auto subscription now, which means I can more easily drive there. It just might work, brother. It just might work. Mystery bounty. Like, I definitely want to focus on Millions Online, but I might be able to play something. The main event day 2 is on a Monday as well. Although with Millions Online, these day 2s are on Monday also. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe. I'd like to. I miss playing some live poker, man. It'd be fun, and I would love to just reconnect with some of the people at Playground too. So, might give it a go. Keep betting and pretend we have a flush. Sure, let's do that. I mean, we're still drawing to the straight draw, but what bluffs are we gonna have here? It's gonna be one club hands and or straight draws, right? Like king queen with a club is pretty good. King 10 and queen 10 with a club is pretty good. And then 9-10 without a club is okay, you know. We have a straight. They could have a flush here, though. Is it too thin to value bet? I'm going to say probably. Probably too thin to value bet. It's tough to get called by two pairs if we triple barrel here, you know? So we'll just check. And we beat two pair, which is kind of fine. And we call here with the aces and the 10-6 and the double suit. They have two pair. We are out. GG in 19th position there. Okay. So out of that PLO, I'm going to wait until next break to... wait to go. What casino will the Manchester stop be in? I think it's 235. I'm double checking right now. Yeah, Manchester 235 casino, which is pretty much in the center of town. We have trip nines. We bet on the flop. They call. They lead the turn. We call. River's a queen. Is it too thin to raise? Probably against a big bet. Against a small bet, maybe not. But against a bet of like half pot or more, I think it's just a call, I'd say. And it's a pot size bet, so we call. And we beat ace-8, which is good. Hi, I don't find the tournament. It's in the general party poker lobby. It's called Pokerstaples Home Game. Registration finishes in 24 minutes. It also depends what country you're trying to join from. I think like Sweden can't play because of like some rules around extra prizes or something like that. So, but in general, most people can play, I think. The windy city because of the wind coming out of the guns. Wow, PGD. Wow. There's a shooting in front of my apartment not too long ago. I'm in a decent neighborhood, so I guess it's hard to defend. It's not so bad. I mean, it is, but, you know, life goes on and all that. Yeah, word. I'd be down to play something, yeah. Check out the schedule, Rebecca. Maybe we can make it work. I don't mind. There's a satellite going on right now, a 109 to 530. I'm gonna fire that. Here we go. Satellite to the main events. 109 to 530. We get it, fam. We get it. We have like 15 blinds or so, as there's 6 of us. And we're still waiting to get into a 55 PLO as well. And then there's a 109 8 max turbo, 75% bounty. That's going to be fun. Starts at 15 minutes. That's cool. There's also Party Poker Tour Path, 25 pound that I'm going to play. And then a 55 hyper tonight, potentially. We'll see. See how we go. Kind of first day back. We don't want to go too crazy. Don't want to blow out the boys. So I missed you in Stratford. Damn mother-in-law's broken foot messed up all the poker plans next time, man. Fishmonger poker. Don't worry about it, brother. It'll happen again. I'm sure. I'm sure we will be back in London for the Party Poker Tour, and you can count on me being there, man. I love it there, so. So, yes, sir. All the best, man. Do we want to mess around on King 6 Deuce? I don't know. I don't know, man. Nice to have chipped up in all 3 of these tournaments, though, especially like first day back after a long time. Like, I got to get some reps in, you know? I feel rusty for sure. Definitely will be good to just review and get back in the zone a bit. Speaking of, probably going to 3-bet here. It's not a great hand, and I typically wouldn't, but we cover for a bounty, which means I think we get to play a few more hands than normal. We're going to go all in the satellite with King Queen. And the Jack 10 looks like we're going to go 3 ways. We do. King, Queen 5 on... Or no, we go heads up, sorry. King, Queen 5. This is a straight draw. Feel pretty good. King, Queen called by King, Queen. Surprising, actually. We have a free roll. Chop it up. Pretty good spot to bluff, I'd say. Pretty decent hand to bluff with. We are unblocking their ace highs, which might get a little sticky on the flop. So I think if you're going to have a triple barrel, this is a pretty good one to have, I'd say. And a 3-bet pot as well. Covering for a bounty. Seems good. Take it down. Good stuff. 1.5 million. The triple barrel succeeds. Hello, H. Tracy, 92. What's up? As we have ace king in the home game. Hello, bro, and good luck. What's up, Marion Kozma? Thank you. Will you be in Dublin at all? I don't think so, dude. I mean, I would love if the Party Poker Tour could expand to Ireland. That'd be cool, you know? I'd love to do some Wales in Ireland, but I don't know if it plans to. And then outside of that, like, we've already got 5 stops this year. I don't know what the plan is next year, but I'm assuming it'll be probably at least 5 stops next year is my guess. So that's already like a lot of live poker and a lot of travel, you know? So yeah, probably not, but you never know. It's always possible. I really liked Dublin the one time I went. I enjoyed it. I didn't have a lot of time to to like do things in the city because I ran really deep in the poker tournament I was in. So sick brags. So we take it down ace king against ace queen. Let's go. The legend, Mr. Pokerstaples up, Chris Mosier. Good luck for the grind. So you used to play on Sundays, not Friday. It's going to be both this week, man. It's a really bad flop for Queen 9. Super bad. Turn gives us a gutter. But, I mean, they probably just win here by betting 50,000, I would think. If they bet kind of small, we have a chance to like float, bluff the river, but all right. And that's that. So let me play you 5 minutes of highlights from my most recent poker video. And I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? You're watching Pokerstaples on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Stay with me. Ooh, no berry! Call. I don't know, call, especially with the $50 bounty in play here with the open ender and the pair. We hit trips. That's what the doctor said anyways. Said after 2 days of antibiotics, you're no longer infectious, but massive inequality in the economic opportunity that's created from it, right? Like it just, there is no accountability or feeling of ownership of those problems in the US, right? It's like a problem to be dealt with, but they don't feel as if it's a problem that they own in any way. I'm going to slow play queens, give herself a chance of getting this bounty. Kind of sneaky little move here. See if it pays off for us. They check call. We're going to bet the turn here. So we'll stick it out in this tournament as look who moves to our table. Brother Matthew Ice, the legend. An all-in $50 bounty for 17 blinds. We would have called, but Roliero takes the opportunity from us. And we're out. Oh, wait. This bounty's in play. Oh, wow. That actually changes things. Because it means this range is wider, and it means this range is wider. This for $75 for 2 blinds. I think I want to gamble here for that reason. It just means everyone's range is wider here, which puts ace-queen more in a comfortable spot. Future game with bounties and stuff as well. I don't know. We're going to gamble. Good luck. Nice. All right, we win the side against these two, which is great. Haka survives, but we get a $50 bounty here. Roliero's bounty is going to be like next hand probably. So there we go. $100 in bounties. 137 bounty in play here. We have 4 high, unfortunately. I'm going to call. We'd love to see a flop for a blind here. But does Matty want to open the door for Moscow Mule? Or does he let us see it for cheap? Oh. C'est incroyable. Oh la 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 la. Let's go. This is so sick. C'est pas possible? Is that a saying people would use? I don't know. Bet, call, call. Turns to 7. 44,000 in the middle. Bet, get a call or a jam from Jazzer 9-9. Possibly could have a 4, but like not super likely. They do. Can we chop? No. Wow, that's really sick. We lose a massive pot with trip 4s for 137 bounty. Oh man, and we had some chop outs there too, right? Like any deuce, any 10, jack, queen, king, ace would have been a chop. We just needed to dodge the 9, 8, 6, 5, 3. So yeah, we kind of got pretty unlucky there. More of the variations of variety, and then also like in which case Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Of colonialist pursuits. Oh, this sucks. This spot sucks, man. We have the Jack of Hearts too, which makes me want to call, right? Yeah, I think we should. Now here we're 3 off the money on the bubble. Soft bubble, I should say. We've got a shot here, and we're in the money now. So 231 cashed, plus 100 in bounties, 331. Okay. First thought is to call here. Great squeeze spot for all these players, but then Haka 3 bets, and now it's just an all-in for us. So good luck us. Double blacks all in, and Haka has got to decide whether they want to go for both bounties. I hope they do. Aces, queens for 290K. Come on, let's go. Let's go. That's a really big pot. That's going to put us in 4th place. Yo, we're back in real time. What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in today on this beautiful Friday afternoon. We're in a satellite here. Top 3 get a seat. We're all in with A7. Snap by Queen 10. Come on, A7. Hold it. Hold it. Yeah. Send me the money. Send me the money. Okay. Cool. 7-8 suited. Not going to be worth a rejam, especially with how wide we just saw them call. I don't think we want to do that. Run good, bro. Thank you, Vora Woot. Thanks very much. I'm in a game in the min 550 PKO 6 max, won it a few weeks ago. Ed Bewick, good luck in that one tonight, man. All the best. So happy that Will Kassouf didn't win the main event in London. At the Irish Open in 2023, he picked up his chips and left midway after getting stacked in a cash game. 2018, Grosvenor revoked the sponsorship of Kassouf after he was caught palming a 100-pound chip from a friend. The guy's a thief, and constant table chatter is annoying, but perfectly legit. Yeah, he introduced himself to me at the London event. I don't know. It's a really awkward experience for me personally. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like, you know, I don't mind people being annoying and being big personalities at the table, right? Like, I can totally get behind his constant banter. But like, dude, when you're caught stealing 100 pounds from a friend, even if you're drunk, like, it just makes it hard because I can't, like, what am I supposed to do as a person? Am I supposed to care about it or not? So it's just kind of just like avoided the guy, you know? And like, he was kind. He said like, hello, I'm Will. And like, hey, I'm Jamie. But then like, other than that, I didn't really say anything because I don't know. Right? Like, it's complicated. You don't want to like support someone that's been caught doing something like that. But at the same time, you want to give people human decency in some way. So it's like trying to figure out what to do. I don't know. So I guess at the end of the day, like, be decent to people in person, but then also don't engage if they don't deserve the time of day, I guess, you know? And hope for their redemption over time, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Pro like, yo, how was London, Jamie? So good, man. So much fun. I had a blast. Really excited for the rest of the tour. Check out some more spots throughout the UK. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. You're going to lose to the guy on your left. Brian, what you mean, man? What you mean, Brian? I'm not losing. Don't at me. Let's check raise here with our bottom 2 pair. We've got 94 in the home game. Can we get 100, chat? Can we get 100 in the home game? There's 15 minutes left to register. There is $500 added in Millions Online tickets. There's a $25 bounty on my head. We've got 95 entrants. Come on, hop in, yo. Hop into the home game. Open a Shack 3-bet from Alex. A little awkward, I'd say. Probably call. Continue with the gutter and with the ace high, getting a pretty good price here. I'd say this is a good flop for us as well. If it goes check, we have a good bluffing hand on the river. They barrel the turn, we can just give it up. Check, and we can bluff the river, especially with ace jack. I think it's one of the best combos we'll have here to bluff. When you think about it, like ace king, we're going to 4-bet, so we have ace jack and we have ace x suited with a backdoor flush draw, basically. That's about all we've got compared with the king queen, with the queen jack, with the ace queen offsuit. If we decide to flat that, you know, it's pretty decent range construction, I'd say. Over here, we flop an open ender on a dry king high board, which is fun. Hugo says, let's go. Vamos. Ale, Hugo. Come on. This is quite frustrating with ace 10. In a jam, but it's quite close. I think it's pretty close here as to whether you want to jam or not. Damn, dude. Queen. 10. All right, we'll re-enter if we can, but I don't know if we can. We can. Nice. Oh, I haven't opened this up on the live hand viewer. Sorry about that. There we go. JB, there's not much to be said to that guy. Yeah, I don't know, man. I find that challenging about life. I am coming to Manchester. Yeah, man. You gonna be there? Pro like yo? Ooh, not ideal. Not a great turn there. We'll try again for a third time, unfortunately. Didn't go so well there. Is King 10 off too weak? I think it is, yeah. And Queen Jack, we go 5 ways to the flop somehow. Wow. Okay. So home game ID, it is in the general lobby. Pro like yo. So it's just in the Party Poker lobby. It's called Pokerstaples Home Game. You can search Pokerstaples and it should pop up there if you're in a country that can play it. Okay, this is my last entry in the satellite. If I bust this one, I can't win anymore. I can't re-enter anymore, I should say, not win. I'm not doing much winning in this tournament. So let's see how this goes. Yo, fam, 4 a.m. Perth, Western Australia. As always, you know Big Daddy is here. What's up, Luke? Pleasure to have you, as always, brother. Shout out to Perth. Thanks, man, being here. I'm gonna try and limp in here. There's also this ultra PKO going on, 75% bounty, which means we want to get in early. So I'm gonna register that right now. I'm gonna get that going on table 4. Take it down the satellite. So this is the ultra PKO, right? 75% of our buy-in goes to the knockouts. So having a big stack is a big advantage in this tournament. It's a big deal, frankly. Check down with ace-9 against queen-9. And this tournament just needs a little adjustment. There we go. This is not the PLO 6 max. It's the wrong lobby. There we go. All right. Gonna 3-bet with ace-9 suited against the button. They're all in for a bounty. They fold. Wow. Okay. Ace-9, ace-7. Here we go. Yeah, justice. Justice is served. 37.50 bounty coming our way in the 162, and we've chipped up nicely. Let's keep it going. Did Matt tell you about the guy at the table in the side event who was pissed about his mind calling everyone Phil, having the time of his life, was a good character but lost? No, he didn't. He didn't tell me that, but that is hilarious. Calling everyone Phil is pretty funny. Three-bet ace queen, take it down. We are covering most people with these big bounties now, which is sweet. I think jam 9-8. I think they don't want to call very wide at all, given the satellite nature. So we'll just try and get a steal through here. And it works out. Okay, top 3 are going to get a seat. Reg closes in 4 minutes. We flat with queen jack. We go to this flop, but it's a little bit of a dangerous flop. We're actually quite deep here, right? There's a ton of chips behind with only 125 in the middle. So we have to be cautious, right? You can run into ace, queen, ace, jack, aces, queens, jacks, king 10 at this stack depth and have it be very painful. So start with a call. And if our opponent slows down, great. All systems go, bet. We're going to get some bets in. But if they are putting out stiff bets themselves, then we want to consider probably just calling. I'm from Newcastle, England. Been a lovely day. Beautiful, man. Glad to hear it. It's a dreary, sort of rainy day here in Montreal, unfortunately. But next week, for the first time this year for me, it's going to be like summer weather. And I'm really excited about it, man. I'm really pumped up. The weather next week. Let's see the full forecast. Ace Jack, Ace King, we are out, dude. GG in that satellite, 5th place. Kind of unlucky how that ran out, all that. Starting on Monday, it's a high of 22. Tuesday, a high of 26. Wednesday, a high of 25. Thursday, a high of 25. Sunny all of those days. So it's like kind of... I think midweek next week, I'm going to get some time to basically be in the world, and I'm excited about it. But poker until then, until Monday. Anyways. Okay. So we lose that main event satellite, which is very sad, especially because we put $327 into it. But, you know, c'est la vie. We're still waiting on the 55 PLO. And then some of the later options as well. All right, cool. We're chilling right now, though. This is okay. Home game reg closes in 3 minutes. We're up to 107. Thank you guys for playing. That's an awesome turnout. Appreciate you all. Thanks, everyone. Bro, I don't know, man. I guess we check call 1, and then now we pick up the second nut flush draw, but they probably just have an ace here. Oh, they bet so small, though, so we just call again. We now have the nuts. Which is hilarious. That is exactly the king of hearts giving us the nuts. Not that we would have folded ever to a river bet, you know, but on a heart, that is. HJ Tracy, yeah. I mean, it's unlucky, Bray. Listen, it's unlucky, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just a huge luck box. I guess it is what it is. Where would you start learning poker, reading a book? I think you can start with reading a book. You have a ton of options to start. Like, I think there's a ton of digital resources which are really useful to sort of quickly get you going. YouTube videos, Twitch streams for sure, online training videos if you want to jump in. You know, you can check out a book as well. Really, it's like one of the first steps, I think, to learning about poker is that it's such a broad game of topics. You know, there's so much available that you don't know yet, and you don't know what you need to know. And so that's like one of the hardest parts, actually, is learning what you need to learn. And with that, you can just grab a bunch of different sources and you can start to pick up some of the lingo, some of the stuff that you need to put some time into, and like, oh, I don't know what that means. Let me figure out what that means, right? So I think it's hard to go wrong, honestly, when you're getting started. Just like dive in, you know? I'm in Canada now. Gregory Shaw. What's up? Reg is closed. 117 people. That's epic, man. Thanks everyone for playing. I guess check, right? We're hoping to induce bluffs here, so probably check in the home game to barcode. Come on, the lads. We are the Geordies, the Geordie Boot Boys. 8. Come on, you Spurs. We do lose to a bigger full house there, but we stay in the tournament. We're up to 142,000, which is good here. 1.7 million here, which is great. And we've chipped up in this Ultra PKO Turbo as well. All good news. This is like, we miss on this flop, but it's really not a bad flop, right? We have 3 to a straight flush. We have 2 overcards on a board where we can really kind of represent some stuff. It's a pretty good spot, I think. The turn, we're going to go for a bigger bet. Fold the turn. Fine, fine, fine. Queen 8 of clubs is going to be fooled. Let's play this Jack 10. Let's play the old Jack 10 offsuit here. I mean, depending on what happens. I'm not saying like we're going to play it for sure. And in fact, the one person covering us opening in the cutoff is not very appetizing for playing this pot, but... Rebecca was in the home game. I don't know if she still is, but probably. Mr. D-Man 69. First time chatter asking about Rebecca in the home game. Interesting. Interesting. Limp, big raise from David. All right, I'm going to stay out of the way. It's kind of a nice hand with King Queen. We might regret that, but I feel like folding's all right. Oh, first time chatter is not true because Dynasty has been following for 7 months, 4 days, 12 hours, and it says their first time chatter. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it is. Dynasty, welcome to the chat box. That's all I got to say. When is Mr. Staples hitting the WSOP? Maybe never, dude. You know, I could hit some WSOP side events at Playground Poker for sure. Because I live in Montreal, but no, dude, There's just so many reasons why I'm not interested in the WSOP now. It used to be very few reasons of like, oh, the tax situation sucks for Canadians to go down to Vegas. And also I've been to Vegas like 5 or 6 times and it's fun, but I would rather go to another tour stop than Vegas. Now there's more reasons. The American president is threatening annexing Canada. Fuck that and fuck him. I'm not interested in supporting a country that is threatening to annex our sovereign nation. 1. 2, WSP is now owned by the #1 poker company that is like driving down win rates and pushing poker to be like a casino game. Fuck that. Not interested in supporting that. 3, I'm already going on 5 poker trips this year to the UK to play the Party Poker Tour. And then also there's the events at Playground. I feel like that's enough live poker, you know? So I used to have 2 reasons. Now I have more like 5 reasons. But it makes the WSOP pretty unlikely for now. Things change. People change. You never know. I'm not writing it off forever. This is not a lifetime boycott of the WSOP. But just for now, it's like one of the least likely things I'd want to do in my life, to be honest. Ake has been following for 8 years, 7 months. Jeez, I'm getting old. Brother, if you're getting old, that means I'm getting old, and that can't be true. Yo, it's been a hot minute. Any news on Ultimate Sweat 2.0 2025? 0% shot. Never, ever, ever doing an Ultimate Sweat again in my life. Listen, I learned a lot during the Ultimate Sweat, and based on what I knew at the time, you know, I think I made the right decision to take it on. But the effects it's had on my life has been overwhelmingly, largely, extremely negative. Definitely has been, you know, I have some big regrets about taking it on. See, the thing is, I didn't know what I know now, right? I didn't know the effect I was going to have on my life, right? But, you know, I have an eating disorder now. It was largely exacerbated through the bet. That's not good, you know? Like, the damage it's done on my body has been fairly significant, right? Mental health, it took a significant toll on my mental health. And it also, like, changed my brand in a way that will forever be damaging to me, right? In that, like, there's a large percentage of people that know me as, like, a figurehead for extreme weight loss, right? And then also, to those people that started following me and liking me because of that sort of like get it grinded out sort of mentality, I am forever a disappointment to them, you know? And so it's there's some regret there because it's like, if I wouldn't have put myself in that position, I could just be a person, but instead I stand for an idea that I don't really believe in, you know? I don't believe in anymore anyways, you know? So, being healthy is something that is always important to me, but the reasons it's important are different now than they were back then, right? And what health means is definitely different than it was back then. And so I work towards being a healthier, happier version of myself regularly. But that probably is a different journey than what people think it should be, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just, unfortunately, it's a bit of a toxic part of what I have been in my life, and I don't know. I feel like for a lot of people, they're willing to sort of just like accept who I am and move on to a different version of me. But then for a lot of people, they kind of will always wish that I was that other version, and that's all right, you know? But like, I'm not interested in being, I can't be and I won't be that person, you know? And so it is what it is. Is what it is, man. We need Malta streams to make a return, man. Malta was good times, man. As much as I regret a lot of the ultimate sweat, things that I don't miss or that I do miss and I really enjoyed was like long walks, man. Long walks while IRL streaming was so much fun. Really enjoyed it. Jamie and Maddie getting stopped at customs with their desktops in suitcases. Yeah, yeah. We used to just jam everything in our suitcase and fly. Just tower computers, rip it in the suitcase. Good to go. Hilarious. What company is that? GG Poker. How are they pushing down win rates? Essentially by increasing rake, increasing promotions around lottery-like promotions, right? So like a progressive knockout jackpot pool, for example, is one they did where they increased rake that paid into this jackpot pool, which effectively isn't increasing rake because you have an equal share of getting it back, but it's just increasing the variance and creating a marketable headline for them to promote poker. And then also their structures drives down win rate for people, right? In that like everyone is super short running deep in those events. Their Russian sort of affiliate and the owner of that site has said that basically what we're doing with GG, like, you know, if you're interested or if you're not, like, we're going to try and make poker like every other casino game to where it's essentially like the winners are less and less, they're winning less and less, and more people can play. But like the poker company will just sort of drain the deposits out, right? Which, you know, they're totally entitled to do that as a business, right? They don't need to do other things. But me as a consumer, I don't want to support it, you know? So WSOP used to be a private company and now it's been sold to GG, and I just don't, I like a lot of things that GG Poker does, but I really don't like their approach to like sustainability in poker. They're just, for some reason, they, through trying to like maximize revenue through spreadsheet sort of like engineering, are continuing to turn away the only thing that makes poker interesting, which is like this human versus human competitive environment with the opportunity to thrive enough to where you can actually profit, right? That's the thing that makes poker like an interesting game. If you remove that, there's nothing left. It becomes a casino game, right? Of which there's plenty of, you know, and a lot that are more entertaining. If you just want to have a spin on like a casino game, there's lots of other entertaining ways to do that, right? What makes poker interesting is this competitive community aspect of person versus person competition. And if you're going to remove that, you might be able to show returns on your balance sheet, right? But it kills what all of us were doing here in the first place, you know? So, you know, listen, again, there's a lot of people I really like at GG Poker. There's a lot of things that they do well. It's just, I don't want to support that, man. You know, like, it's just, I would like to support every other company before them, you know, all of them. And obviously I'm a party poker guy, right? So like party poker is my number one, but, you know, poker is a big game. There's lots of companies that are trying to do things in the space. For me, GG's trajectory is the most dystopian and depressing at the moment. For like poker's future, you know? And if you don't care about poker's future, then whatever, right? But for me, it's like poker's been my life, so. We're going to go all in here. They could have better hands, but like probably not. Aces and queens are the ones we're primarily worried about. We beat the rest, which is good. We need Becca to get you a British passport, no more tax issues. Could become a dual citizen, it's true. And it would make the WSB easier. Never been to Playground, played online only yet. How is it? It's good, man. I think you'll like it. I remember never having been to a casino before. It's quite intimidating, right? Going to a casino for the first time, like how does it work, blah, blah, blah. But it's a pretty enjoyable experience, I think. High rig, tons of promos, hardly winnable. I think it is. I think the games are beatable at Playground for sure. You know, the rake is medium. It's lower than a lot of private games, but then it's higher than a lot of public casinos. So it's definitely going to affect your strategy and force you to play a tighter strategy than you'd want to. Because the rake is mid, you know. The promos are net zero, right? Like that money comes back to you. But yeah, it incentivizes a particular style of play for sure, which is unfortunately like a slightly boring style of play, but a lot of people don't mind, so whatever. Yikes, didn't mean to turn the vibe, just very fun memories of that journey. I hear you, brother. I hear you. I have a lot of fun memories of the good walks, the mission aspect with Mike, traveling around the world, you know, and winning, like doing what we set out to do. But the results were not worth it, you know, the blowback for sure. I only have 3.5 chapters left of Count of Monte Cristo. Might finish it tonight as we win with the flush. Let's go, baby. 142. How good is Monte Cristo, right? What a great book. And the end of that book is pretty rewarding too, so enjoy it, man. Can you elaborate more on GG turning WSOP into a casino game? Well, I don't think they're doing that yet, right? Like the WSOP is probably going to continue to be exactly like the WSOP has been in history, but they're owned by GG, so the intent and the purpose will match up with the rest of their brands, I would assume, you know. Like, I don't think you buy a brand for whatever it was, $100 million or whatever, with the intent of like making it more profitable for players to play in and less profitable for you, right? Like they're gonna figure out ways to drive revenue from owning the brand, and yeah, I don't know. Based on what I've seen so far, I just don't believe in their vision, right? I just don't. If I was a shareholder in the company, I would believe that they're going to get a pretty solid return on investment, but their mission statement seems based around return on investment as opposed to the long-term health of the game of poker. I don't think they particularly care. That's the impression I get as someone on the outside, right? And, you know, having had a few conversations with them internally over the years of, you know, is there potential to collaborate, et cetera, like my feelings coming out of those discussions are almost always negative in that, like, it's just not at all what where I'm hoping poker goes or what poker is, what's good for the game long term. You know, the game will just change, right? It'll just change. And that is what it is, but I think we do things in the right way at Party Poker, and we invest in the things that really matter for the health of the game, and we're investing in everyday poker players, which I think is important. And there is that possibility of being a poker pro and competing at a high level in poker with us at Party Poker, which is cool. I think there's some other operators where that's certainly possible too. So 100 men versus Matty Ice, who wins? It's a flip. It's a flip, dude. It's a 50-50. Good luck, Matty Bird. First of all, Kois. Oh, we're going to Bilbao, familia. It's so expensive for me to go to Bilbao that I just don't think I can do it, man. The tickets are $2K a piece, and obviously Rebecca would be coming, so the call at $4K. The flights are also $2K a piece. Now you're looking at $8,000. And then there's the hotel and the other expenses, and then the fact that it's a 16 or 17-hour flight from Canada. I don't think I can justify $9,000 and several days to go to the final. I just don't think I could do it. Which makes me sad because it's a moment of Spurs history, but I will be rooting so hard at home. So hard. You know what also sucks about the GG stuff is that they've taken over the Reddit Poker subreddit to run their own promotions through Reddit Poker, which is like an unowned public forum. And they're just like, because they have several moderators on the list of moderators, as does WPT, by the way, they're just running like straight up like sign up promotions through the Reddit Poker forum, which is bullshit again. It's like, yo, do things the right way. Do it like ethically. If you're going to run a promotion, be like, hey, this is a promotion for GG Poker. Like, this is an affiliate link. They've decided to invest some money in this community. FYI, but they try and like slide it by as if like, oh, this is special opportunity for Reddit Poker readers. It's like, yo, this is a public forum unowned by your site. Screw that, man. So annoying. The problem is, though, they operate in a bunch of countries that no other poker site operates in. You know, like on PartyPoker, we operate in very few countries, so we don't, you know, I don't blame anyone in India for playing on GG Poker. Like, you have very few options, right? Or Saudi Arabia or whatever. Like, it's, well, how are you going to play poker? If I was in your shoes, I would play in the same spot. But if you're like in the UK or Canada and your primary volume is there, like, why, man? Why? Anyways. We need to bluff, but damn if we're not going to get called here. But we have 10 high. What are we going to do? We got to bluff, man. Writing GG, I'm slowly cutting tables myself, says Muggy W. There I get the most rake buck, but playing 12 blind average went deep. I don't think it's worth it anymore. Avoiding in mid-feed tournaments as well. I'm a very principled guy. I'm starting getting very annoyed at them. Yeah. Streamer house, get Kmart and your bro plus the entourage. Listen, I would love another stream house. The problem is that everyone is either married or in long-term relationships, and their partners probably don't want to live like that. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of getting a bunch of people together in a big old house and just like creating interesting poker content. I love it. But you try and convince Matt's girlfriend and Jeff's wife and his kids and Kevin to want to do that. It's not going to happen, bro. It's just not. People are too... Life moved on, you know? But it's okay. We can make new and interesting, different stuff, you know? Second, I managed to go on free rolls for a month and build up a tournament where I got second at 264 players and won $30. How much luck is that? Is there any skill? There's definitely some skill, but like how much is luck, how much is skill? It's really difficult to quantify, right? Because poker is a really long-term game. Like, you could be a really bad player and win a tournament. Likewise, you could be really skilled and on average finish 30th, but you finish second because of the decisions that you made. But which one is it? I don't know, right? Like, it's really tough to say. Because really, it's just like making quality decision by decision over time, and then you make millions of decisions, and in the long run, those pay a dividend. But it's difficult to quantify it, so I don't know. Kevin Martins. Hey, Poker God. What's up, brother? Good luck today. How was the trip, Greece from Belgium? It was so much fun, man. It was really nourishing, you know? I feel like really happy about the whole thing, so it was a good time, man. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook. Spoke with a tournament director in Asia who met with the GG director several times. It basically comes down to what you said. They don't care at all. It's all about getting that extra percentage point. That's my impression as well. I would love to be proved wrong, honestly. Like, listen, this is not like a lifetime grudge of like, oh, I really hope. Like, I would love for them to change their ways and be successful, but that's just like not the way it's. They don't seem interested in that. They don't seem to care about that. They're going to do their own thing their own way, which is, again, fine. But it's just like, I don't want to be a part of it, you know? You try Phenom Poker? I've never tried it before, no. I've just heard about it. which I think its idea is essentially like it's a community-owned poker site where you own the token and then you get 50% of the profit back to the site for owning the token. So essentially like it's a collective ownership. The problem to me is game integrity is like really important. So you need to spend a lot of money on game integrity, basically. And so are they spending enough? I don't know. But it's an interesting idea, though. All the best. Oh, I screwed up here. I meant to go for a small bet, but I raised because I didn't see this bet. This is a really bad move by me. In a four-way pot, I should be calling here. It's just a mistake. It's just a mistake. Whoops. But okay. We play from here. Hopefully they don't have the nut flush. That would suck. Although, kind of no matter how we played this hand, we would be doubling up this hand if they have the nut flush. But they block bet. We're going to go all in. No snap is probably good. Probably good news. And they fold. Wow. Okay. But a very good stack for us here. Top 15% make it. Registration closes in an hour. So we've still got a bit of time here before reg closes on this one. And this is good. Good spot with double stack. The extra big bounty not going as well, but fine. And in the home game, we have double stack, which is good. That's too big of a jam, Shirley. That's too much, yo. With the same hand. Okay. It just feels like starting to play poker is a small toe in a big, bloody ocean. Well, it is. Poker is absolutely like an ocean. 100%, bro. But the good news is you get to decide which fish you want to play against. You can drop down to the deepest, darkest depths and play against the end bosses. Or you could just, like, play with the minnows, right? And that's fine, right? So, like, if it's intimidating or uncomfortable, just play with the minnows. Great. Only people who profited. GG are the people running the company in D-Eggs. I think there's a few more, but it's a small list, you know? For sure, all the ambassadors get paid, and, you know, I like all the ambassadors, dude. I have nothing against them, for sure. There's all the shareholders, of course. There's all the affiliates, of course, right? There's all the people that work for the company that succeed, and then there's some poker players that do well, but I think they have to have a really large win rate to make it work, you know? Which is difficult to do, so I think it's a really small number. Do you think Alberta will have its own pool like Ontario and the rest of Canada will follow? I don't know for sure. I think the way things are set up, I think eventually it's trending towards that direction. And then there will be shared liquidity between pools, probably, right? I don't know for sure, right? Like, I don't super keep up with that because first, Quebec seems okay through licensing in Ganawage and First Nations reserves. And then also I have Rebecca, who is a UK citizen. Like, I have the ability to continue doing my job in other places. But, you know, it seems like more of a concern for Matt, right? Like Matt would, although he's just 2 hours from the BC border, like, it'd be fine, but we'll have to see. $25 bounty. We're going to rejam here in the 6 max PKO. We've got a flip for a bounty. It's great. We've got to dodge a lot, though. They had 52% on the flop. We do actually hold it. Let's go. Hello, fellow crushers. What's up, Jason Hans? Welcome. What's up, Luca, on YouTube? I kind of want to watch a movie tonight. I wonder what movie it'll be. I'm also hungry, man. Should I have more eggs? Oh, it's break time. Good. I can go get a little snack. Thank you all so much for watching. We're up to triple starting stack in this 162 multi-day. We have double stack plus a bounty in this one. We're still in the home game as well, getting down to the nitty-gritty. Call the 3-bet against Marcos with our 8-9 suited and check jam it in. And then we're on 80,000 where we started with 100K in this bounty on table 4. With some more tournaments coming up. So you're watching Pokerstaples on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. After this pot, we're going to send it to 5 minutes of highlights, and then we'll be back. Ship it. All right, take it out. Stay with me. And first place is 1,500 plus bounties, about 3,000. That would be a huge profit on the day. This is it. This is just gorgeous. I'm going to 3-bet against Haka. I think it's a good spot to do it, even as a bluff. And we leave room for both opponents to 4-bet, which could happen sometimes here. So, oh, hell yeah. Aces against 9s. On the final table bubble. Uh-oh. Come on, let's go. 515,000, baby. That's putting us in 3rd. We don't burst the final table bubble, but we cover everyone on our table. Bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt, bubble butt, bubble, bubble, bubble butt. Whoo, Haka. Hit it, Haka. Oh, hell yeah. I think we want to call here. Induce action from either opponent. We wouldn't bust if we were out this hand. So, yeah, just call. Come on, ace king. For the marbles. Ace king, queen 9. Okay, good start. Great turn. Come on, let's go, chat. $112 coming our way, and I think we're down to 8 here. I think we're down to 8. Final table hype of the Super 215. Coming into the final table, 3 of 8. And look who's on my left. Matty Bands. 320 cashed, 213 in bounties. First place is going to be 1,500 plus bounties. Be anywhere from 3,000 for the win up to like 4,500 if you really crush bounties. So it could be a lot. Folds around to Jazzor, who limps. We're going to raise. Raise get a call, Jack 10-8 on the flop. It really hits their limp call range. We do flop a double gutter though. I'm going to check back. I think you can argue for betting there too, but I kind of like a check. Turn top pair. Do we want to value bet here? Yeah, I guess 1 street of value, and it's probably now, is better than the river, but 8s against ace queen. That's a set. And we're down to 7. 365 cashed, plus our bounties. 213. Okay. I'll call it 580. We just want to call with jacks. Very strong hand, right? It looks amazing, but we can get in a lot of problems getting it all in for a flip in this spot. Raise call and a squeeze from Murphy. This is a nightmare situation for us. It's not a nightmare yet, right? Like we could just take it to a flop here, but we're going to be in some really difficult spots where we don't want to stack off and get 7th place in a bounty with jacks, you know? It sucks. But anyways, we should definitely at least see a flop. I think back raise is a punt, so we call. And this is the nightmare, right? We check on this 9-6-4 flop. They quickly bet pot. Oh, I mean, the bet size is I'm afraid. That's what the bet size says, right? It's I'm scared. The thing is, some people are scared with like ace king here because they've already put a bunch of money in. They don't want to lose. Some people are scared with like aces because they don't want to be outdrawn. Brother, I don't know what to do here with jacks. This is never a bet size you should see. Don't know. Don't know. We'll never know. Yeah, it's tough with the jacks there, man. Just the risk reward is not set up too well for us there. That's the problem. Against some people, we've made a huge mistake, and against some people, we've made an epic fold. We don't know with Murphy. It's like against the average, I don't know. But in this pot, we flop middle set. which is phenomenal. We've also got a 225 bounty potential up there, so let's bet 30K. Ace scared or ace king scared? Yeah, something's scared with that bet size for sure, right? It's just the more inexperienced they are, the more, well, actually, honestly, you could be inexperienced and scared with both of those hands. Open the king 10 on the button. Flop comes queen, jack 4, check back. Want to control the size of the pot here. We can continue on pretty much any turn. We don't want to bet and get raised off our hand. That sucks with a hand like this. So we check back. We call the turn. We smash a king on the river. Probably have the best hand. And let's see. We do. Let's go. All right, folds around to us with ace jack here. Do you want to raise or limp? What's going on? Had a little snack. Feeling good. We're back on our 4 tables with a few more to register as well coming up. 9-3 suited. Covering both for bounties. You know what? We're going to click it open. That's crazy, but we're going to do it. Okay. Anyone ride an exercise bike while playing poker plus EV? Question mark, lol. I think there was some discussion back in the day of people doing like slow walking treadmills while they play. I don't know though. I'm not sure. How's it going? I have poker and DraftKings on my mind. Thanks for the stream. No problem, Jason. What's up? Sup, my guy. Been a minute. Hope all is well. Good luck. G Lang 48. What's up, yo? Welcome back. Good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning in as we pick up the beautiful Pocket Kings. What do you think of the Alberta secession talk? Unrealistic, right? I think the First Nations issue is, first of all, too big to get around. Second, I don't think people's claim to wanting their own country, largely because of like living over natural resources and feeling as if they are the sole owners of those resources because that's where they grew up. It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, like I don't find the complaints legitimate. I don't find the plan to secede possible or sustainable. But I moved to Montreal from Alberta, right? So like I don't find myself sort of agreeing largely with the viewpoints of people in the province in the first place. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's how I feel. You still buy art for bigger winnings? Yeah, man, for sure. It's been a while since we bought a piece, but I'd like to. Hey, Mark Maker. Brother, what's going on? Holy smokes, do my eyes deceive me? Is that Jamie, a.k.a. Pokerstaples, LFG? Let's get it, brother. Good to see you in the house. What's happening? We got some good spots, man. 3.5 stacks here with some bounties in the 109. Triple stack here. Registration closes in an hour. I wish we could chip up here, but we'll work on it. And in the home game, we're down to 32. Gonna mark some friends of the stream here in the home game. I jammed in the home game and I've gotten called. We gotta sweat this one. The Kings just get through, unfortunately. Hey Barry, what's up, music man? Love your videos, Jamie. Hope you're doing well, brother. Thanks, man. So a similar spot today, EPT Monte Carlo with the Jack-Jack, he also folded. On the break highlight, I forget the Jack-Jack spot, but word. Did EPT Monte Carlo wrap up today? What do I need? What do I need to survive this? Nothing. Just dead. GG, guys. OF Ladnap 7 is going to win the $25 bounty there. All right. GG in the home game. Let me take stock on what we have to register here. There's the 25 tour path. Let's get in there. I also have a ticket that I won on the Party Poker Tour for this, so it's kind of cool. I'm playing to the weekly final. And we'll get the lobby open for this one. 5 packages is guaranteed to Manchester, which is good. Just win a couple poker tournaments, watch a movie, have some dinner, and I've got a book club next weekend for this book right here. Anyone know it? Germinal by Emile Zola. And I've been a little behind on reading, actually, so I need to read 70 pages today of this 550-page book. But looking forward to it. Really liking it, actually. It's a pretty fun story, and it makes me want to read more Emile Zola. It's set in early 1800s, 19th century France. And it is the story of workers in a mine. And this is post-French Revolution, but sort of the experience of these workers in the mine, that's a really big bet we fold. And, you know, what they live on week to week and what the community is like. And I'm pretty early in the story, but I suspect there's going to be revolt or sort of revolution from within the camp to try and get paid more. And probably tragedy will follow, I'm guessing. But really good book so far. I really like it. It's the style, I would say, is realism. So you're getting like, what's so cool about reading books from the 1800s that are written in a realist style is that you're getting a genuine sort of look, even though it's fiction, at what day-to-day life is like for, you know, people that work in the mines in these communities, you know? Like you're getting a genuine sense, which provides some interesting context when you're like, oh, 200 years ago, this is what life was like for people not in the upper class or royalty class in France, you know? You get sort of like, you know, a realistic view through a story. It's pretty interesting. I like it. And then also like pretty interesting book in terms of gender roles and expectations, right? Like I think the harshness of this book is when women are kind of treated like cattle in this book and that they're used for their sexuality, and that's kind of it. And then men are kind of used as machinery in that their bodies are the resource that they have to make the money and nothing else really matters about them. So you have this sort of like brutal exploitation of both genders and the expectations on them. It's yeah, it's a good book, man. Really enjoying it. Anyways, book talk for the day. Book talk for the day. Hello, friend. Ready for the final? Yes. Gooberry. What's up, yo? On YouTube. So excited, man. Tottenham Man U final in Bilbao. I'm not going to be going because it's too expensive, man. It just is too expensive. But I will be supporting big time. I'll probably go out to a local pub here to watch as well. Just to see if there's any vibes. I don't know. We'll see. Tottenham are the greatest team the world has ever seen. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm nervous as well, you know? It's a big final for both teams. And it has a drastic impact on our future as a club, I think, this game. A drastic impact. If we win this, we have Champions League football next year. That makes a huge difference for the money that we spend, the sort of players that want to stay at the club. If we win this game, I think our manager is staying. If we don't win this game, I think our manager is leaving. I think if we win this game, our project under Ange Postecoglou is viewed as a success, and the club is viewed as making progress. If we lose, I think it's viewed as a failure. There's so much on the line, you know? This ends the discussion about Spurs or trophyless for the next decade, right? Like, it ends the discussion of Spurs or bottlers or they don't have any trophies. Like, there's so much riding on this game for Tottenham Hotspur. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. For Man United, you know, struggling as well. So it's important for them, but they come from a richer tradition of success than Spurs do. So they'll be able to weather the storm of losing the game a little bit better if they do, you know? We didn't realize it was you. Just busted 200K all in 6-6 versus my ace king. GG, man. UK trip was so much fun, Steve. Had the greatest time, man. And looking forward to going back soon. In a month, I'll be back there again. Raised 3-bet, 4-bet to 117. Really big 4-bet. Which weights this towards ace king big time. I'm going to call and then fold on ace or king high flops, basically. I'm going to fold. And then I was going to get it in on the rest of flops. So that was the plan. Just because of the sizing, I think is a good spot to make a read there. All right, what am I listening to now? Dvorak's Ninth Symphony. Let's hit it. It would be nice to see a Saudi entry win on one of these live stops. Yeah, man. Hope I can make it through to the weekly final. I haven't had a lot of success in them, but Rebecca won one last trip. I think Matt won one as well, so it's just me that's suffering defeats. That's a good river. Makes it less likely our opponent has a pair here. Too thin to value bet, but we feel good. And unlucky for them, they got counterfeit there, actually. So it did give us the pot, that river. Nice. 3-bet ace king, get a call. So we're just going to go small bet, mid bet probably. Or maybe small bet, mid bet here. It's kind of tough to get paid off 3 streets from many hands. Like ace queen and ace jack is kind of all we're looking for here. I feel like this deep, we can probably go mid bet. Life is pretty sick if they raise, by the way. But yeah, just bet here. Take it down. Nice. How do you feel about the winner taking another Champions League spot, 15th, 16th in the league? Deserved. If you win Europa League, you deserve to play the Champions League. You're champion. Really important trophy as well. I think it's totally deserved, man. No question. In my mind. Maybe if you smash a final table tonight, you can buy one. I don't think there's enough up top in any of these to buy one, but on Sunday there will be, I'm sure. Stone bubbled the home game. Rage. Oh, Rebecca, no. Rebecca, no. Rust and Peppers, Rebecca, no. Excuse me. It's a pretty bad flop for King Jack. We do have this King of Clubs, though. So it's probably okay to c-bet. We don't want to c-bet like Ace-9 here, right? That doesn't make any sense. But with like King High and Queen High stuff, it's probably better. They call turns a Jack. Check, check. Good luck, my idol, on today's session. Hey, Ronald Troy Arambulo. Greetings from the Philippines. Thanks so much. It's very kind of you, man. Thin value bet. This could be epic. Calling against the 6-blind shove, but trying to induce here against Nicholas. It worked. Hold for so many chips. Oh my god, no, dude. They both have an ace. No. Oh, it's just a nightmare, isn't it? It's just an absolute nightmare. Oh, God. That's so sick, man. Followed you both on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good luck, James. Thanks, Paul. Recommend the Gotham Hotel in Manchester. I booked an Airbnb, but for future reference, sounds cool. What's the deal with Gotham Hotel? We beat a deuce, which flopped 2 pair. We get a $25 bounty. 29 pay, and we're pretty close. We're actually on soft bubble here. Jamie loves to click his mouse buttons. Keep up the good work, Jamie. Thanks, man. True. You do not deserve Champions League if you finish 16th. Yes, you do. If you win Europa League, you deserve Champions League. End of discussion. I mean, if you want to go off the basic definition of Champions League having to be champions, earned much more than 5th place in the Prem, deserves Champions League. The winners of Europa, for sure. It's a hugely important competition. Massive. Really big deal, you know? It's not Champions League final, but it's a big deal. The second most desired trophy in European football. You deserve Champions League if you win it, for sure. Kois, how did you come to follow Tottenham, says the divine Mr. M. I had to choose a team about 8 years ago or so. I wanted to start following football. I kind of started watching around World Cup, and my fiance's English, was spending a bunch of time in the UK, so I was like, all right, I kind of want to start watching football. I like it, but I don't have any sort of local affiliation in any way. So went through a process of like, all right, so it can't be a bandwagon team because that's lame, right? So eliminate the teams I'd heard of in North America. Like, those are too mainstream. It's got to, like, you can't just be a bandwagon hopper, you know? This is an all-in moment. So that was no Arsenal, no Chelsea, no Liverpool, no Man United. And then next, it was kind of like assessing. If they were top of the table, you couldn't be. So, like, I'd never heard of Man City, but it couldn't be Man City because they were top of the table and whatever, right? And then it was assessing where the club was in the UK and what their fan bases were like. And we were moving to London at that point, in Angel, which is like pretty close to Arsenal Stadium for what it's worth, but North London nonetheless. And then I also had heard that the Tottenham fan base was sound, you know, kind of matched my vibe. And then I also met a guy that had season tickets in the Bahamas and invited me to a few games, which was cool. Lawrence was his name, is his name. And then I also consulted my teammates at that time, asked Spraggy, asked Lex, asked Finton, and their opinion was kind of like, yeah, Tottenham works, you know. And so all of that, I was like, okay, Spurs, that's it. And then I went. This is when they were playing at Wembley. This is coming off the World Cup as well, so a lot of the England squad who I was rooting for in the World Cup was playing for Tottenham at that point, right? It was like Kane and Dele Alli and Dyer and Danny Rose and Trippier and yeah, so a lot of the England squad was on Tottenham. Then I went to the matches, got to see Champions League against Dortmund win at sold out Wembley. Like, yeah, it just no brainer. And so yeah, and quiz till I die, you know, is what it is. I also feel like I've been through enough ups and downs and like 4 managers with the club now to where I've earned my fandom, right? It's not like I'm no longer a bandwagon hopper. I'm in there now. And no, I wasn't born in North London. Like, I'll never be the same level as those of you, but I'm also not like a tourist or a plastic fan, you know? So there you go. What's your best cash in the millions main? 103,000. That was actually WPT 500 though. Cash for like 40K in something, I think 45K in a millions event. Good to see you back, Jamie. My team Doncaster Rovers won League 2 title in England. Good luck to the Spurs. Beautiful, brother. All the best in League 1, man. That's exciting. Saw you in London but didn't get a chance to say hi. Steve Mugg, no! All good, Steve. I'll see you next time. See you next time, brother. All right, 366 soft bubble here, 4 off the money. We're half stacking this big bounty. And in the satellite, we're just below starting stack. I'm deciding if I want to re-enter the PKO / the Omaha. I'm going to feel it out. Have you been watching any F1? It's all chop and change now with the drivers, so this will be Horner's last season in charge of Red Bull. I have been watching F1, yeah. I'm going to go to F1 here in Montreal in a couple weeks. Yeah, it's exciting as a McLaren fan, you know? It's like a great season so far. I got Oscar Piastri in my fantasy, you know? It's a good time to be a McLaren fan. This is a jam if it folds to us. It's an okay steal hand, but the stacks are not very good for a steal here. Table's a little bit tough, I'd say, stack-wise. We only cover 2 opponents, which I guess we're middle of the pack. That about makes sense. Has reading historical books offered any insight into probability in poker and more? I noticed you avoid commenting on assessing women's romantic optionality. I don't think it's helped my probability in poker, no. I think it's led to being more empathetic and or being able to consider more perspectives, more viewpoints, but it doesn't really correlate to poker skill, you know? I think I think it's useful as a human being, you know? And you are a human being as you play poker, so it's useful to you, therefore, as a person at the poker table, but it's not going to result in more dollars. Happier, more thoughtful engagement in the world, yes, but like I don't think it more money, you know? You know, your comment on women, I just don't agree with. It didn't seem like something necessary to engage with, in that I don't think you can group the wants and desires of women into one sort of cohesive thing, you know? But nowadays women just want to direct a musical, is what you said. I don't think that's true. And I also don't think you're able to sort of like reduce 4 billion people into one desire, you know? Like, even if it were true, which I don't think it is, you know. In the same way that you can't do that to men. So, yeah, I just disagree, and I don't think. I think in reading books, you'll definitely find more, viewpoints from a woman's perspective in terms of what they find important that would broaden that scope, you know? Whoa, 7 deuce. No good. Let's go. Double it up to 101. Going for that bounty, yo. Going for that bounty. Do we want to reshove here? No, I don't think so. Shove sevens. It's a thin shove, but with the big bounty, I think we can go for it again. Against ace king, big flip. For 216,000, pretty big pot. No 9-8, ace or king. No, Barry, stop. Get out of here, Barry. Yeah, dude. All right. That's okay. If I was a Spurs fan or a United fan, of course I would want the spot in the Champions League. The point I make is I believe Europa finals get into the next season. Europa, not the Champions League. No way, dude. Cup winners are not champions. They are. If you win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup or Europa League or Champions League or Conference League, you should get the opportunity to have some benefit from that, right? Like, I think it's a big deal. And I don't think the squads in those cup competitions are anything to sneeze at. So I totally think you should level up if you find success in those competitions. I wasn't born then, but I heard Prem League was the shit back in the days. Now everything is so diluted. With that said, I think whatever you score in the Prem doesn't matter if you manage to win the Europa League. Yeah, it's a big competition. Since you're not from the UK, I don't think you need to worry about the bandwagon hopping. I'm from the States. I fell in love with Sadio Mane, Firmino, Salah, and Virgil, and Klopp. I didn't even know the history of Liverpool when I decided I wanted to root for them. Don't consider myself a bandwagon jumper now, knowing their history. I hear you as we lose, but like I agree with you as well for what it's worth. But I think if you polled people in the UK, they would feel differently about it. In that there's a significant contingent of people that seem really set on like instituting these boundaries around what a true fan is. And I think it's frustrating discourse most of the time because it's just like figure out a way to exclude people essentially is like the whole thing, right? But it is an opinion held, right? Like when I'm in the UK and I mention that I'm a Tottenham fan, first of all, it garners like more respect than you would think because they'd be like, well, why are you a Tottenham fan? Like they don't understand why someone not from England would be a fan of Tottenham, Whereas if I said I was a Liverpool fan, they'd be like, that checks out. You know what I mean? That makes sense. But as a Tottenham fan, it's like, that's too obscure of a pick for someone not from here. How do you even know? Like you sound like an American. Why do you support Tottenham? So there is like that undercurrent, I think, of just like, the teams where it makes sense that you're a fan of those teams, and then the teams where it doesn't make sense, and you garner more respect if you're a fan of a team where it doesn't make sense, for better or worse. Who cares at the same time? There's always going to be people that, want to diminish your support, but it is true though. And I also got to think from their perspective, it's got to be, from an Arsenal fan's perspective, it's got to be so annoying when I, tell them that their club is shit and that they belong in South London when I live in Canada. It's like if they grew up in Islington and like have been to Arsenal matches since they were a young child, and then they hear some Canadian tell them that they're a South London club and that their team is shit. Like, I can understand the seniority that they want to default to because they, grew up near the stadium, right? And their voice sounds the same as all the other supporters' voice. I get that. I don't agree with it for what it's worth, but I can understand how it's an easy mode to default into. Arsenal is a club that is not going to win anything this year. And a sham of a football club and a disappointment to all. And, frankly, the best part about Arsenal is some of the people that support them. There's some great people that support them. They're fantastic. Really enjoyed lots of Arsenal supporters I met that are really sound guys, Got to see Sam Grafton in London. I really like Sam. I think Sam's great. He's an Arsenal supporter. Payday, Payday. Legend. Love Payday. He's an Arsenal supporter. I like those guys, but that's like the best part about the club. Everything else is just terrible about it. So it is what it is. Fooled the 9-8 offsuit. Love that. I also come from a non-football background, but wanted a team to follow. Around the time I learned that my great-great-grandfather was a baker in North London, and so Spurs it is. Let's go. That's epic, man. That's a cool origin story. My great-great-grandparents were descendants from England, and my great-great-grandmother did live near London, so I might have some ties there. Agreed, Jamie. Any team that wins a trophy deserves the benefits that come with it. Yeah, man. And obviously, like, if you win the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, like, you don't get, like, league promotion or anything from that, right? Like, but it deserves a ton of respect, right? Like, it deserves the prestige that comes with it. It's one of the most interesting parts about football to me is that North American sports, there's one competition that matters. That's it. The Stanley Cup. It's the winning the Super Bowl. It's winning the NBA championship. Winning the World Series in the MLB. There's one competition, and the regular season is all working up towards this one competition. Football is so much better in that you have four competitions per club. 2 cups, 1 European competition, and then the league. Every team. And the thing is, like, they're all, although this is currently under debate now, right? But they're all as important as each other is the thing, right? Sometimes you get short discourse about, like, oh, but this is more important than this. But most of the time it's like, just win trophies. That's it. Like, win competitions. And there isn't generally putting people down because the competition you won wasn't as cool as the other competition. It's like, if you win a cup, you've won a cup. You're a trophy winner. If you win the league, you won the league. You're a trophy winner. If you win the Champions League, you won the Champions League. You're a trophy winner. That's very different than North American sports, right? And it's one of my favorite parts about it, even though, of course, there is difference in quality in these competitions, right? Like, there is, Winning the league is much more difficult than winning, like, even Champions League, because you need to sustain that competition over a long period of time. But, Champions League means the most, essentially. This is way too big of a bet to continue. Huge. But I like that about football. I like that it's like, listen, trophy is the goal. Win trophy. Success. That's it. That's it. And North American sports are so damn annoying, dude, because in November, when the Stanley Cup is in April, when the playoffs start in April and it's November, none of this shit matters. It's like they're all exhibitions. And of course you need to play to win and you need to get points, but it's like, dude, what are we doing here? Like, give me an FA Cup in hockey, right? Give me the ability to play against AHL teams in an FA Cup, Not to mention the international scene in football is epic with Euros and with World Cup, you know? In other sports, it's trash or non-existent. It's like, bro, football has so much going for it. So much going for it. Ugh. Imagine supporting Liverpool in the start in the mid-90s. At that time, it did not make a lot of sense. Too much United dominance. The next decades pain. Word. Word. But it's Spurs. Yeah, yeah. I support Celtic. We still had to qualify to the UCL even when winning the league. Champions League is a loose term name. Yeah. Yeah. I think the Champions League works pretty well right now, right? Like, it could work differently to where it is literally much more international representation. Less teams get in from different leagues, and then there's more countries around the world that get in. But, you know, it would degrade the quality of the matches. They would be less close. You'd have less chance of the best team in the world winning. So I like the mixture right now, but obviously, like I just said, I've been following for like 8-9 years. If you've been following for 30 or 40 years, you might feel differently based on other ways it's happened. But I like Champions League and Europa League right now. What's a little... See, I think with the creation of the Conference League, it does give more rise to this discussion of, like, what are these trophies worth? Are they all the same level? Let's go. Big chip up. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just default to, like, win trophy is the goal. If you win trophy, success. That's it. Jamie, as an Arsenal fan, you can call us shit till 21st of May. Yeah, fair enough. That's fair enough, man. I mean, the best is second best. Arsenal FC. The best is second best, you know? TIFO champions of the world. Arsenal FC. Not sure I'd label Arsenal as a sham. It's a tough game. Jamie trying to follow in Wanger's footsteps is like trying to follow in Fergie's. Thanks for engaging. Definitely a thoughtful response with your experience. I mean, considering a more broad perspective, I don't see what could be disagreed with about directing a musical, however. I think it's the assertion that all women want to do is direct a musical, when I don't think that's representative of even a small portion of women. I think a very, very small amount of women want to direct musicals. And it's not representative of the whole gender or sex, whichever you're discussing. Full the ace 8. Two off the money in the 6-max PKO. First place is 1,200 plus bounties. It'd be like 2,500, right? Ish. Three emails. Nothing important. Fold to the river race. Just very unlikely to have the best hand. Could have gotten bluffed, but like probably not. Looking forward to Palace lifting the FA Cup in a couple of weeks. Good luck, man. Man, I would love Tottenham to like ever get even close to winning a cup competition. I guess we did have a cup final with Mourinho, but look at it from the champions of your league's point of view. The EPL has 5-6 teams. Your team who won the league have to qualify. Yeah, I can see it from that perspective, but if the league is lacking in such quality comparative to other leagues, then I think at some point it should default to the best teams in the world as opposed to the best of each league coming together to present their league to the world. But it could work that way, Elise slots, right? Like the way that you're proposing does work. I prefer a combo of the two to where it is presenting the best players, but also presenting the leagues of the world. But I fully concede that your way of viewing it, the world would not stop spinning. Football would continue, and it could happen. I just think it would be a worse championship. If it's just like, all right, let's take all of the 40 European countries and like each of you get one representative and like run it, you know? Like, oh, if you're the best football nations, you get two. Okay. Like, I prefer the current version, personally. Maybe I'd feel different if I was Scottish. Perhaps. Maybe. Hey, Jamie, you think the Alberta referendum stuff is just like propaganda stunt? It cannot be beneficial for Alberta, Saskatchewan in the long run. I don't think it's propaganda. I think there's some people that genuinely feel that way. I don't think it's going to happen. I think to feel that way is really misguided. I don't know. To be direct, I think it's really dumb. I don't think it's going to happen. First Nations-wise will ensure why it won't happen in the first place, which is like there's all sorts of reserves in Canada and Saskatchewan that if Alberta was to want to separate would be enclaves within a foreign country, which they wouldn't accept, nor should they. And then also the rest of Canada wouldn't want to give up, you know, our natural resources in those areas that belong to all of us, right? So yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I think some people want it to happen, but I think it's really, it's maybe not stupid, dude, but it's got an extremely narrow worldview, which is like, I was born on this pocket of oil and it belongs to us within this border. And if you're outside of this border, it doesn't belong to you. When in reality, like, we all live in Canada, and Canada has some ownership over our resources coast to coast that we share in. You know what I mean? It's just silly to like. It's opportunistic to draw the lines when they benefit you with natural resources, but then don't when they don't. Right? It's a silly thing to me. It's like, yo. The world is endlessly divisible into smaller and smaller sections where someone can get a better deal by continuing to divide, right? That's just always true. That is not the Canadian spirit or the Canadian way or the way things work. And I think it's also selfish as a perspective and well, yeah, stupid. I think it is stupid for what it's worth. I think lacking intelligence. I don't know. Like, to be honest. But I'm sure it'll be, you know, in the news for a while and then not. I think Jeff lives in Miami most of the time. Are you going to Bilbao? No, dude. I would really like to, but it would be so expensive. It'd be about $9,000 for Rebecca and I to get tickets and fly there, and it's also a 16-hour flight. It's just a tough cost to stomach, you know. That's a lot of money. Do you have an MLS team to support, Jamie? We have an MLS team in my city, but I don't really support. Like, I would go to a match or two a year, but like, I'm a Tottenham supporter, you know. It's like kind of. Yeah, I don't know. I support Spurs, so like, You can't really divide that allegiance, really, you know? Doesn't feel like to me anyways. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you streaming. It's been a long time since I watched. What's up, Mercassette? Thanks for tuning in, yo, on Twitch. Appreciate you. Jason, I think you're misguided, brother. Jason says, aha, you've activated my trap card. The manner/method in which women wish to have pot tripper levels of control in the dating market is in no way sustainable. Here's an example. I once again disagree with you, Jason, in that I don't think there's a grand conspiracy with women to control the dating market. I think they're making decisions from an individual perspective, which is, do I want to date this guy and or do I want to hook up with this guy? And there is no incorrect answer to that question, right? If the answer is no, because I can find a hotter guy to hook up with or to date, and this guy is not interesting to me for all these reasons, that's the correct answer, right? Like, women don't owe men anything, right? I think there is generally a shift upwards in terms of like dateability/fuckability that is taking place in that there's just more availability to find partners for women, right? And so they don't have to settle as much. But then also, I think that doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. I'm in a long-term relationship, so it's like really hard for me to discuss this. And it's not like I was ever a lady slayer before being in this relationship at all. I was self-conscious for a lot of my life, and that doesn't lead to being, very proficient when it comes to relationships. But, how I feel about it now is so different than how I used to feel about it. Like, so different in that, I don't know. It just doesn't seem that hard to me, but like, I'm viewing that from one very particular perspective, but I don't know, man. If I feel like if you have an open mind, there's great opportunities to connect with human beings in so many places, right? Like to make friends, or to have romantic relationships, or to just have physical relationships. Like one of the most baseline human desires is sexuality. There's such a small percentage of the population is asexual. It's like one of the most shared human feelings in the world. It shouldn't be that hard to solve for that if that's what you're trying to solve for, But like, what's the way you do that? Well, like, I think safety is like the number one priority, which I really didn't understand when I was a younger man, right? This is a little awkward with the big bounty. Fortunately, this can be ace high flush draw, which really owns us. We have to fold here. Like, I remember common wisdom from like young dudes when I was growing up, and like the internet was all about like, yo, listen, to have a chance to hook up with women, first of all, it can't be a group setting. It's got to be like a one-on-one setting, right? It can't, because then there's like social pressure if you're talking to her and her girlfriends. So the whole thing is like all this gamified way of like trying to have women interested in sleeping with you and or spending time with you. And I think it's so misguided, right? Like, I think it's so archaic and silly. It's like, yo, like women are just people, right? And people want to fuck each other as well, by the way. And if you want that to happen, well, first of all, you need to find someone that's open to that idea. And then two, they have to feel comfortable and safe enough to where they want that to happen. That's it. It doesn't seem that complicated to me, It's easy for me to say, but like, I also have this feeling sometimes when I watch like clips on social media, and there's all these like interview shows of, like, oh, what would you rate this girl? Or like, what's the lowest that you would go with the rating, or like, do you think this, what do you think about this person, right? And they're all based around like implementing a standard, right? It's like a social display of what your standards are, in a relationship with someone else. And so it's like posturing, I think of it as posturing, showing your physical worth by drawing your line in the sand in terms of how interested you are. But I guess at 33 now, I think about it like the opposite way a bit, which is, to me, it's showcasing like how close-minded you're choosing to be, right? Like how ego focused you are, as opposed to like focused on your own physiology and senses, right? In that, if you were to run an experiment where you put two naked people in a room, a lot of time, and there was sort of like no social pressure and no knowledge or whatever, I think a lot of time there'd be some sort of sexual interaction. But it's like all of these other things that get in the way of that happening, And so I don't know. To me, having standards or having a benchmark of like, oh, I won't sleep with someone that's gross, or like, oh, they're too ugly, or I don't like that, or whatever. To me, is just being like close-minded a bit. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot more strength in finding the beauty, or the sexuality, or the possibilities in other people. Like that is being in touch with your sexuality, or being mature, or being attractive, or being interesting in a way, not how closed you can be, but how open you can be. I think most opportunities, if you gave people the chance to find something attractive about someone else, you can do it. But that's not the default, right? The default is the other way, which is like, here's all the reasons that this is not interesting. To me, it really should be flipped, It really should be flipped. In that, here's another person that perhaps on like typical rating scale would be rated a 5 out of 10, right? So let's say an average looking person, they might not fall under the typical attributes of being attractive or not attractive. I think to win the game is to be able to find things that are attractive about that person. Find things that are sensual, or find things that to find love where it's available. That's winning the game to me, Which is completely flipped with the way it works, right? It's like, it's competitive. And it's also a little bit capitalist, right? It's like, sexuality is like a marketplace in modern times. But there's gotta be, and I don't know, right? I don't know because I'm out of the game. But there's gotta be the opportunity for people that don't view it as a marketplace, but view it in a vacuum, right? Of just like, well, would this be a positive or a negative experience for me? I don't know. Like, I feel like you've got to be able to find those people. I could be wrong. I really could. Like, easy for me to say, but although I'm in a monogamous relationship, and so I'm not at all on the market. When Rebecca and I talk about these things and interest in other people, I just it seems so easy for me to find something to love about other people. And it's probably the same thing with you dating, I would think. I don't know. Anyways, we're back here. Sexuality and like human relationships and all that stuff is one of the most interesting subjects to me. I find it super interesting, but there's not very many outlets to talk about it or engage with it. But we definitely are very separate in our views Jason Hans, right? Like on how it works. But yeah, we feel differently, I think. Pretty big bet, but we flop top pair. We should continue. Turns a deuce of hearts. This is going to get tough if they choose a big bet sizing here, right? Do we want to stack off with top pair when they can have tens, jacks, queens, kings, aces, ace nine, but they also can have all the spade draws, all the heart draws, and air balls? I think we make a tight fold here on the turn. United versus Spurs in the final is a rescue mission for both clubs. They need to win, get Champions League football to save their seasons. United more than Spurs. Interesting. I'm curious why you think United more than Spurs, because I feel like we're in the exact same spot. But I guess you're saying like United, based on their pedigree in the past, needs it more than Spurs do. But if you get rid of the pedigree, I feel like we're in the same position. When's your next stream? Sunday. Chance tomorrow, but likely Sunday. There's an opera tomorrow that I want to go to. A rerun of the Met Opera, which I think I want to check out. Take it down, bro. One of the top guys in the poker community. Thanks, man. Women have a vendetta versus technology. They don't. Disagree. Yes, I disagree. They don't. No. And you can't reduce 4 billion people to such a simple perspective. Anyways. I'm playing this Addy with someone who has your stapler as the icon. Let's go. Good luck to them. Not saying I disagree with you, but that logic, you could say the same about country borders. The wealth Canada has should be divided among more countries. Yeah. That's the end game is, at the end of the day, human value is equal, you know? And so ownership based on where you're born, we have to have a socially constructed answer as to how much that applies. But from my point of view, the less that applies, the better, for sure. I agree with you, Groom Champion. I'm with you, brother. This is the year for Canada. Great election result. Country's team, Toronto Maple Leafs, all going all the way. Oh, I was with you until that. As a Habs fan, let's go Winnipeg or Edmonton. But enjoy the run, man. By the way, Chad, if you want the best women for relationship in North America, go to Quebec. Women there are outdoorsy, social dress, style, not for attention or brands, are, of course, good looking. Yeah, I think the fashion is really different in Quebec broadly, but in Montreal too. It is a pretty different approach. Final 7 in the home game. Get it, Craig? What's up, Floyd Green? How are you, man? Sound like the kind of guy that watches Love Island. I have seen Love Island before. It's been a few years, but I have. Do we want to represent the ace against the big bet? Probably not. They most likely have an ace here, so just give it up. Jason? Oh, man, Jason, we're just at odds with our views. Let me read this. Someone wired opposite of what you're describing is more likely to be intelligent is what I think makes most sense considering the styling. Maybe that's lacking. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Intelligence versus like availability in a sexual sense, I think should correlate to higher intelligence equals more promiscuity. But that's also from a male perspective. From a feminine perspective, there's the element of safety that factors into that quite a bit, you know? In that if there's like a physical power indifference, then there's you have to protect yourself against that if you're the less powerful one, which largely is going to be women. Protect yourself against violence in some way, right? So it doesn't, on the feminine side, it doesn't correlate that way, but on the masculine side, I think it does, I would say. Loosely, you know? But there's all these like cultural variants that play effect, right? Like religion, several religions, Islam, Christianity, hold not being promiscuous as a cultural value of goodness, right? And so, it's probably 60 or 70% of the world that holds one of those two ideals as virtuous. So I'm speaking from an atheistic, agnostic point of view when I say this, right? If you're a Muslim or a Christian, you're not going to feel the same way about sexuality because it's sort of top-down ascribed as to what is good and what isn't. But if you remove that, right, and even if you're a Christian or a Muslim and you play hypotheticals with me of like, well, let's pretend that I wasn't, or let's get in the mind of someone that isn't, and those attributes were not ascribed, well, then how would I think about it, right? What would you do if this was not the case? And it becomes a lot more complicated, right? But I think essentially, like, sexual freedom and liberty is clearly the best, most interesting, positive outcome for humanity if those ideals don't exist, right? Once again, I'm not here to argue against your religion or your ideas that way. It's just we're presenting from my viewpoint. Anyone but Toronto. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting with hockey rivalries because, like, I wouldn't hate if Toronto won the cup, but, like, they're definitely not my first choice. But, if it's, like, Toronto and LA or Colorado in the final or something, like, who do I want to win that? Like, I probably am not anti-sweating the Canadian team. I don't know, though. I don't know. It's weird. Whereas in football, like, you would always anti-sweat the rival. Always. In hockey, it feels a little different. I don't know. Let's look at the playoff standings here. What do we got? Dallas up 1-0 on Winnipeg. Edmonton up 2-0 on Vegas. Saw those highlights. That's cool. Toronto up 2-0 on Florida. Saw those highlights. Cool. Washington, Carolina. Who cares? It's 1-1. Man, let's get an Edmonton, Winnipeg, Toronto. Washington, Final Four. That'd be great. And it's possible. I mean, it's looking like Toronto, Edmonton are through. We need Winnipeg to pick some up. I'm assuming they're playing tonight. Fold, that's pretty big. Let's see what the Millions schedule is tomorrow. Because I would like to play the Millions, but I kind of want to go to this opera. Oh, and I might have a concert tomorrow night, too. The Planet Smashers. Let's go. 3 o'clock opener, PKO, 162. Not a ton of high-stakes stuff on Saturday, actually, which is chill. And then on Sunday, we got the big day. Sunday and Monday. Okay. Sweet. So likely we're going to get tomorrow off and then Sunday, Monday streams. Most likely. But thanks all for tuning in. I mean, this has been a great stream. First stream back, we had, a peak of maybe 300 viewers across the three streams. It's been a lot of fun, man. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's keep it going. Hit that follow button if you're new on any of these channels. And let's try and win this tournament. I'm not going to do it here. Not going to do it here with threes. Pretty good hand. Ace-2 suited. If Shirley's all in, we would play. Alexander's a tough one, but I think a fold. Raf, interesting. Against Carey, 3-bet. Really big raise there. We're going to fold. Chat, have we broken Jamie? I don't know. Ace King with a big print as we're four-handed, but we're going to fill in here pretty soon, I'm sure. Almost down to the final 3 tables. My buddy was up Winnipeg versus St. Louis round 1, game 7, where they tied it up with 1.4 seconds to go into the women's series. Wasn't that game insane, dude? I watched, after I saw that highlight on Twitter, I tuned into the game and I watched the 2 periods of overtime. What an epic, epic game that was, dude. Incredible. Playoff hockey is pretty special, man. Go with 8-6, flop at a top pair. Whoa, Carey with the big bet here. Well, now we don't fold, especially picking up the open ender. Good luck, us. Rest and peppers to us. 258 is our finish. Unfortunately, we lose $500 on the day, dude. The triple satellite failure is a big one. Like I said, going to be back on Sunday. Millions Online continues. Sunday and Monday streams this week. Really excited about it. If you guys wouldn't mind following wherever you're watching, and appreciate you, man. Such a fun first stream back. I had a great time. I hope you guys all did as well. Guys, girls, people. I'm gonna go grab dinner. Check in with Rebecca. Thanks for watching. Till next time. We'll see you later.